Hello and welcome to episode 279 of the Wisdom and the Tangents podcast. I'm your host, John Mansfield, and today I've got a story for you. It's a cautionary tale of AI photos, stolen images, and just overall not great business practices, allegedly. None of this has been, proven in court or whatever. So I'm just going to say allegedly. Maybe we can just put that across the bottom of the screen here. I will try to remember to say allegedly a few times just for legal reasons. But yeah, if you are not in the same corners of the internet that I am, then this might be a completely new story to you. Or maybe you've kind of heard about this Chicago-based wedding photographer that was using AI in their portfolio. And if you want like a deep dive into this, there's like a whole article. I didn't even get to read the whole thing. It is stacked, like investigative journalism type deal over at stopstealingphotos.com. And they're doing amazing work. I have seen like their posts and stuff, and like it'll get shared every now and then of just like stuff on Instagram or whatever of Stop Stealing Photos. But it's intense. It's a lot of things. You can just keep scrolling, and they are updating stuff. And then there's also a longer episode, a podcast episode with Mike and Lauren from the Vendor Table. They did an episode on this also, and theirs was very good too. So, but I wanted to share this with you. If you don't know, if you haven't heard, there was a photographer, Bonfotage, which I think is like a pun on Bon Voyage, but with like photo in there, which I'm all for puns. I'm all for puns. I am the like dad joke guy. I have so many corny jokes, and I love a good pun that's just like, oh, that's really cringe, and I love it. It's so good. But I don't really get Bonfotage. So I think that's what it is. But yeah, a few weeks ago, they were called out online that by another photographer who was saying, or actually multiple photographers who were saying that they had stolen some of their images, and not only stolen their images, but also use those images as reference images into a AI photo generator deal to generate photos for their own portfolio based on this other photographer's photos. So they were sharing, and I can throw a couple up on the screen, maybe some screenshots from that Stop Stealing Photos blog post article. But they were showing like screenshot, like side by sides of the original photos, and then these Bonfotage photos that were being put up, and you could quite clearly see, like, yes, it's the same venue and everything. Things are going to look a little similar, which was kind of their rebuttal, was like, oh, well, yeah, these were taken at the same place, so obviously they look similar. But it was like same lighting, same shadows. But then there were like certain things like a bush that is there all the time because it grows there, was just like not in the AI generated photo. Or the big kicker for me was like, there was this one where one of the photos, they had AI generated like this couple, but they were gigantic. I mean, it looked fine if you had never been there before, if you'd never been to this venue, it looked proportional. But then once you see the actual photo that it was based on, it's like 30-foot tall people. It's insane. But a few weeks ago, they got called out, and then it started making its rounds on social media where people were like, oh yeah, this is clearly stolen photos, or this one is clearly AI generated. And then the photographer just like doubled down and said, no, this was mine. I took this. And that's whenever everyone started pulling out their raws and the like even the film negatives. Some photographers were showing like, nope, look, you can see this is the negative image like on my film strip. This is a photo that I took. And yeah, on like as of this recording, on the stopstealingphotos.com article, they have like a tally of the photos that have been found that were stolen. And as of right now, there were 58 photos that were stolen from other photographers that were posted on this photographer's website and social media. There were also 69 photos that were AI generated or AI edited from like clearly AI. Wasn't a real photo. And we're not talking like AI, like generative fill or something where you're like, there's a like loud fire hydrant in the background or a stop sign, or like we got to get rid of these exit signs. So it's AI. We're talking like the whole thing, or like that one with the 30-foot tall giants dancing around these pillars. It's just like clearly AI. There's like 69 of those across their social media platforms. So I wanted to talk about this, not in a like, look at them, can't believe they did this, but in a little bit more empathetic way. Also, can't believe they did this, but like try to figure out why they did it. And I think what it was, and also in the process of like figuring out why I think they did this, I'm going to share a few things that you can do to try and get to where they were, or like the direction that they were headed. But like ethically, not stealing people's photos and creating fake AI images. That whole fake it till you make it, they really took that seriously and they ran for it with AI. But like, I think they were trying to get to the high end, the luxury side of weddings, which aren't we all? Isn't that like, I feel like that has been something that almost every single wedding photographer that I've been talking to over the past few years is aiming to get to. Like, I went to a whole conference that was just dedicated to how to get out of the like mid-range, low high end weddings and into the luxury, into the like celebrity weddings and the weddings with $100,000 or like $1 million floral budgets. And they're just like, it's insane. So like that has been on the mind of a lot of people. And I'm sure with Bonfotage, that's kind of what they were thinking. At least I imagine, allegedly. We'll throw that back up there. I think that they were probably trying to take like a side door into the luxury scene and just being like, okay, I see these photos that this other photographer took in Paris. I'm going to take those and then I'm going to AI generate a different couple. So it's mine now. It's different. It's not theirs. Which no, that is copyright infringement, taking someone's photo and trying to like, AI rendering something else with it, or even taking someone else's photo and you editing it in Photoshop. That is still copyright infringement because you're taking that original photo of theirs. And I'm holding a physical photo here. These are photos, obviously, like a bowl of photos, and you're taking their stuff and then creating on top of that. It's still copyright infringement. So, and I think they thought that they could just take those photos, kind of tweak it a little bit, put it in their portfolio, and then clients would see those photos and be like, they know how to shoot at this place. They've photographed at this location before. I trust them. I'm going to hire them, because it's really hard to book like a wedding in Paris or a wedding at a very high end venue when you've been doing barn weddings, when you've been having people do their own DIY flowers, when they have, Aunt Susie making the cake and it's like, it's fine, but it's not like this 7-tier giant cake, or no one's doing champagne towers, and no one's doing like these big things that we kind of see in luxury photos all the time. When the weddings that you're booking are not doing that, you don't have anything to like elevate that portfolio to get to. So I kind of see how she may have thought, if I just take these, tweak it a little bit, then I'll be able to book these other clients and then move on from there. Except she didn't move on from there. Didn't update the portfolio with new images. Also, side note, these photos that were stolen, allegedly, still had the metadata from the original photographer, like their camera, their company. Like it was just renamed. But all of the metadata was still there from the original. So that's not so alleged for photo stealing. That's pretty on the nose. Kids, I'm going to tell you an incredible story. A story about how I met your mother. And I'll tell it in less than 9 years. Years ago, I used to spend all of my time editing photos and straightening and cropping and color grading. All of my friends thought I was antisocial, but really, I was just overworked. Then I met Imagine AI. Imagine AI looks at the steps that you take from your raw images to your final products, and then they replicate that so everything looks like your edits. And the best part is that they learn more and more and get better after every single photo shoot. Since I've been using Imagine AI, it has saved me over 200 hours of editing time that I could spend on other things like going to Super Bowl parties and meeting your mom. So if you want some extra time in your life, go to allheartphoto.com/AI and get your first 1,500 images edited for free. That's allheartphoto.com/AI and get back your time. See how I didn't fixate on your Aunt Robin? This is how you tell a story. Now back to the show. You would think, even if you're doing this, even if you're trying to get in like a side door into the luxury scene, that once you're there, once you have photographed a couple of those weddings, I'm scrubbing all of these fake stuff. I'm scrubbing all the stolen images and just being like, okay, cool. I use that to get in. I don't need that anymore. Like I propped the door open and now I have a key and I'm in here. I'm good. I can use my own photos to build my portfolio to now get more clients. And that's not what we saw. Like she was still using photos, stolen photos in blog posts from like years ago and using them in her portfolio. And I think what probably happened, allegedly, again, she got there to this luxury scene. People saw the photos, saw this very high-end portfolio, trusted her, and then she got there and did not give them the client experience that they were wanting, and probably did not get the photos that could rival these AI images or the stolen images from other people. So you can't update your portfolio with mediocre photos at a nice place. So it was all, not up to par, staying there, which you would think if that client experience is not up to par and not doing great, you probably would have some bad reviews. People saying, hey, I saw this in the portfolio. I expected this. It was not delivered. We're not happy. 3 stars, 2 stars. I will give you 0 stars. But as of all of this happening, the last couple of weeks, they were still at a 5-star rating, like dozens of ratings, all 5 stars, which then caused me to ask, like, Why is that? That doesn't make sense. If you're faking your way into the luxury market, there's going to be some people that are just like, ooh, this was not a good experience. And there were some people who did come out and spilt the tea about their experience with this photographer. As I'm recording this, there have been 15 different couples who have come out to talk about this and been like, hey, so we see that our photographer is making the rounds in the gossip right now, and we have some stuff that we would like to say. And they also explained the 5-star reviews, because in the photographer's contract, they had a clause that was a non-disparagement clause, which meant you cannot say anything bad about me. You cannot write a bad review. You cannot talk to other people about how bad the experience was. If you're going to leave a review, it has to be like 5 stars. I don't think it said exactly like it has to be 5 stars, but pretty much if you're going to say anything about me, it has to be nice. You cannot speak about your experience truthfully if it was bad. Which, by the way, red flags. Such if you're a couple, if you're engaged, if you have signed a contract or you're looking over a contract with your photographer right now, listen to this, please. This is a red flag. This is like the reddest, most crimson flag. It is dripping with red paint, just like neon signs pointing to this flag, being like, hey, this non-disparagement clause, this is a way to not get any bad feedback and not get any bad press for doing a terrible job. So maybe don't hire them. If you see that, and also read the contracts, please. I know that they're long sometimes. I try to keep mine as short as my contract attorney will let me. But read them. See what you're actually signing, because there's also a difference. Real quick, I know I'm like interrupting myself mid-sentence, but there is a difference between a non-disparagement clause, which by the way is illegal, and a like force majeure, which we all learned about in 2020 with COVID and everything, and that like became a big thing. I know like the legal page was offering a free like force majeure clause for you and like explained all of that. And if you don't know what a force majeure clause is and you don't have that in your contract, go check out legal page. I'm sure she's got it somewhere. It may not be free now, but it's, you need it. But it pretty much covers you if something happens, a big, act of God outside of your control. You're in a car accident. You get COVID. You're hospitalized for some reason. You are not like legally liable for the loss of the services because of something outside of your control. Now, if you're just like, my throat kind of hurts and I'm not going to show up to your wedding because I'd really just like to curl up on the couch and I don't feel like it, that is not covered in a force majeure. But yeah, side note of all that. But yeah, that was something in the contract, that there was a non-disparagement clause, which I did mention is illegal. In 2016, they passed the Consumer Review Fairness Act, which stated that you cannot have a non-disparagement clause in a contract. You cannot tell your clients, you cannot talk bad about me. Even if your experience was bad, you cannot say it was bad. So that's not legal. It's not legally binding. You can't do that. Not allegedly, but like legally, it is not illegal, or it is illegal. You know what I'm saying. So if you have that in your contract, photographers, take it out. That's not legally binding. But yeah, so she had that. 15 couples have come out now talking about how they had last minute switches from like, hey, I'm not going to be the photographer because I'm sick, or I have a sick kid, or I got COVID, or I have emergency knee surgery coming up this weekend, or something like that. 15 different couples this happened to, and they just got swapped out, which we've all seen those Facebook groups where someone is throwing a comment in there, just being like, hey, I need an associate photographer for this Saturday. You don't have to edit anything. You just shoot and get it to me. And it's just this whole practice of associate teams is really sketchy. So if you do have an associate team, it is imperative that you tell your clients who's going to be photographing your wedding at the time of booking. Like, I have had an associate team for a few years now. Whenever someone books an associate, because either I already have reached my limit, I'm only photographing at maximum 2 weddings in a month, because I have a life and I want to like see my family and stuff. But like, if I'm already booked, or I've met my capacity, or it's just like a birthday weekend or something, and it's like I'm not available. This is a date that has an X on it on my calendar. I'm not here. I will tell them, like, this is my associate. This is Rebecca. She's amazing. She's been working with me since 2018. Here is her portfolio. I'm going to have y'all meet up over Zoom. She's going to do your engagement photos. You're going to be interacting with her and getting to know her through this whole process, and not me. I mean, also me, because I'm like coordinating stuff, and we'll be communicating. But like, from booking, they know who it is, what associate. And whenever you have these like, oh yeah, it's just going to be an associate, and then you don't know, a lot of times those are the people who are searching for an associate a week, 2 weeks before the wedding. Just like, I just need a body with a camera to take photos, and then I will edit them. Here you go. But it seems like that with these 15 couples who obviously didn't know about each other, or and they couldn't write bad reviews saying, hey, this photographer just like skipped out 2 days before my wedding, and we were left with someone that we didn't know. So all of this, I feel like this is so much. All of this to say, this photographer's reputation is shot now. I'm sure there are bad reviews now from other people, and maybe from these people who were under this non-disparagement, not legally forcible clause, who are sharing their honest review now. This is going to follow them. And this might end their business, because this is a terrible business practice. And our reputation is everything that we have. So treat people well. Don't be shady. Don't be using AI to generate photos for your portfolio. Don't be using AI. Like, there's a difference between generating with AI and editing with AI. Like, I use Imagine AI. I'm an ambassador for them. They are a sponsor of this podcast. And it is like a person editing for you. It's actually like you editing for you, because it's AI that is learned from you to edit your photos for you. And it's allowing you to do like your human job better, and be able to like take on more weddings, because you're not spending so much time editing. It's not generating AI images for you. It's just doing all the back end stuff on Lightroom that you would be doing, but it's doing it in like minutes instead of hours. So why do I think that Bonfotage did this? I think they were trying to get into the high-end market. And here's some like ethically good ways to get in there instead of all of this. So if you're looking to like update your portfolio because you're like, I can't book high-end clients with mid-range photos, style shoots and workshops. These are great. I know that they get a bad rap, and yes, there is some like ethically gray area there for some people, but really if you're using these photos, just don't, if you're using them in your portfolio, in your website and social media and everything, don't say, this Samantha and James's wedding was so beautiful and like going on like it's an actual wedding. Definitely credit everyone who was part of the style shoot. Mention the host and everything in the caption, and you can still talk about the details or the intentionality behind whatever aspect of that photo or the styling or whatever it is. You can still talk about that in the caption, but don't say that this was an actual wedding. So style shoots and workshops, they'll run you anywhere from like $350, $400 to like a couple $1,000, depending on what it is and how high end it is. And also if it's like part of a workshop or conference, obviously you got to buy a ticket to that. So that's one thing. Do those and then start adding that to your portfolio. If you're looking to get into destination photography and like be a Paris photographer, fly to Paris. You got to travel. Go travel there. It is part of it's an expense of building your portfolio. You have to fly there, then set up some free shoots, talk to some people, find a couple on the street they've got nice Parisian attire, and just be like, I would love to take your photos, maybe learn some French or something, photos and stuff. And over here, and then you have a few photos that you actually took that you can put in your portfolio, and maybe like make a little mini vacation or something. Or if you're going on a personal vacation, bring your camera along, take a few photos at that location, and now you have destination work that you can put on your website. And it's not that expensive. This one I think is amazing and so great. And I want to credit the right person. I believe it was Tyler Spire who said this, who's a luxury wedding planner out in Santa Barbara. And I think it was him. He said, he was talking about how to like really elevate your portfolio without like when you aren't in the high end yet, and that's to treat your mid-range clients like luxury clients. So what does that mean? If your mid-range client's paying you like $3,500 for their wedding, treat them as if they're paying you $10,000. So think about, as a photographer who's getting paid $10,000 or $15,000 for a wedding, what am I doing? What is that photographer going to do? What are they going to provide? What are they going to produce? How's the communication going to be? Is it going to be, more than, are you going to like wait 48 hours to respond to an email? No, you're going to be right on there, or you're going to have an assistant, or a virtual assistant, or someone who is able to get with them and be like, hey, actually, John is out right now on a photo shoot, but he's going to get back to you here in the next 24 hours. Just want to let you know, we've seen your email. We're going to get to it. Something like that. Also, dress for the job that you want. If you are showing up, I second shot with a photographer years ago, and they showed up to this wedding in jeans and like a button-up shirt, kind of like what I'm wearing right now, but it was like jeans and flip-flops. They're wearing sandals to a wedding, and I showed up in like dress pants, dress shirt, tie, and I was like, everyone thought that I was the lead photographer because I was dressed better than the lead photographer. So dress for the job that you want. Don't show up in like regular day clothes or in leggings or something if you're trying to book luxury, because that's not luxury. Like, if you're a dude or if you wear suits, if you want to wear a suit, like go buy a really nice suit, go buy a tux and wear that to these semi-fancy weddings, and you're going to look like you book $10,000 weddings. Also, go above and beyond what you say. If you say that you're going to have your photos there in 8 weeks, get them there sooner. If you say that you're going to do sneak peeks within 48 hours, get them sneak peeks in 24 hours, or get them sneak peeks later that night, or do surprise same day sneak peeks during the reception dancing. Like that goes above and beyond. And they're just like, whoa, I didn't even know you were going to do this. This is crazy. Also, talk to your clients. This is the Tyler Spire part that I was talking about. He said, like, talk to your clients and get to know what they want. And if your clients really want this certain food truck or something, or they really want to do a champagne tower, but they're just like, I don't know if it's in our budget or whatever. We're already kind of, spread thin on this. Then you do it. If you think this is going to be amazing for my portfolio, if they have a champagne tower, then talk to the planner and be like, hey, I want to, you don't even have to surprise them. You can just be like, I want to add this on and I will pay for it. How much would this run to do a champagne tower? We want to do that between cake cutting and toasts. And then now you have that portfolio image, and then it's like a styled shoot. You would pay for that in a styled shoot anyway, but this is a real wedding. You can talk about it like a real wedding, and you're going above and beyond and giving a gift to your clients that they're just like, wow, my photographer, like I told them that we wanted a champagne tower, but we probably couldn't do it. And then they came through and they did that for us. I am telling every single person that needed to book this photographer. So listen to them. Maybe buy it, maybe do something to kind of like help them. Or if they're trying, like I had a recent groom who reached out who wanted to surprise the bride with a bagpiper. And he was like, I don't know where to find these people. Can you help me? And I was like, yeah, I've had bagpipers at weddings before. So I went through my list and I found the one that I've worked with before, and then 3 others by scouring the websites, social or Google for like 15 minutes. Sent him those 4. Was like, one of these should be available for your date. One of them was, and it was a great surprise. And it was something going above and beyond just like me showing up and taking photos. So do those things. Don't AI generate your portfolio, and don't steal photos from other photographers. That's it for today. If you're part of the Patreon community, we've got some group coaching going on this week. It's not going to be on Friday because Friday my youngest is graduating from pre-K, going into kinder. So I'm going to be at that. But Thursday at 11 a.m. Central, I'm going to be doing some group coaching. So you can join there live. And we can chat about your business and how we can move it forward without shady business practices. Also, I've got a bunch of other stuff on there. Whenever you join Patreon, you get all, like I recently did some social media bio critiques. I've done image breakdowns. I've done lighting tutorials, a bunch of bonus videos. You also get all of these podcast episodes ad free that you can like actually put that RSS feed into whatever podcast streamer you're listening to this, and you get the ad-free versions. That is all on Patreon. So go check that out and join the community there. Until next week, keep creating your own things and keep making the world a better place. Bye, y'all.